Thank you for the comments and for the introduction and welcome, Rachel. Any other citizens in the room that would like to make a comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to the Zoom. Are there any citizens on Zoom that would like to make a comment? We have Valerie Clark. Muted.
Valerie Clark, Elm Road. I just need to ask, I wrote a correspondence before the last meeting that I was unable to attend. I'm hoping that that was received and can be read, please.
It was received moments before the meeting and was not introduced or read at the last meeting, but it can be read this evening, and I'll do that at the end of citizen comments. Unless you would like to deliver it yourself, Valerie, since there were comments. And we unmute Valerie. I don't mind reading our comments, but she's here and they're her comments.
Yeah, it would probably be more efficient if you were to read what I wrote rather than me try to recreate it. And yeah, I couldn't unmute earlier. The host had taken that.
Okay. No issue at all. Are there any other citizens on Zoom that have a comment? Any other citizen comments on Zoom? Okay. Seeing none, I will read the comments from Valerie Clark. They did come in before the prior meeting last week at about 6:20. Our meeting was at 7, so they weren't prepared. I wasn't prepared to read them last week. And Valerie is on, her address is not here. Alm Road. I'm unable to attend tonight's presentations due to a scheduling conflict. I find these presentations valuable and appreciate being able to participate in them. I wish tonight's meeting had been held at 6 p.m. I imagine it's going to be a long meeting running well into late into the evening. That's to be discussed. The budget should be looked at in terms of priorities and not with all departments treated equally. Top priorities should be EMS and fire protection, as this affects all citizens. We should be able to prioritize this without forcing us all into a tax district. The Board of Finance has the power to prioritize funding emergency management. The next priority should be roadways, keep our roads impassable, not necessarily top notch with fresh pavement conditions, and certainly not widening them, but open to travel with tree hazards addressed, ice and snow mitigation, etc. This again affects all townspeople. The school is the next priority and should be funded to the required standard. All the citizens need to make their voices heard about the inequity being thrust upon our town by the unfunded mandates the state has made for special education. I'm very happy about the pathways being offered at the school. There was a segment on Winnie last week, featuring 5 employees of a single local company. All 5 graduated from Ellis Tech and found their way to their careers, joyfully I might add, through exploratory opportunities offered by that school. These employees and their company should make us all proud. They have won worldwide recognition in competitions. One employee was runner-up in the world for his trade. This represents exciting possibilities for our town, for our own school system, which I support, but not at a sacrifice of the safety of the entire town and its people. The next priority is the departments within the town hall, as well as the outside programs our town taxes support. Each department should also be prioritized. Some areas are not as critical as others. Some areas are currently self-funded. Certainly we've heard the transfer station is, and that is a very high priority function. Other departments we hear are self-funded like rec. I wish it were easier for the townspeople to see the revenue versus expenditures by department, which should include the cost of benefits for the employees within each department. The Trails Committee, which is not a department, but has a budget, I believe is self-funded, but again, it is difficult to tell within the expense-only depiction. Not every department should be self-funded. The push to find more and more ways to fine our townspeople and businesses is deplorable in driving business out of town. I support keeping the budget as low and as stable as possible, with reallocation of funding to support functions as outlined in the above priorities. Sincerely, Valerie Clark. Since we're recorded, I just want to be clear that as though I'm reading it, this is not me or my words. These are from Valerie Clark, submitted in correspondence and asked to be read under citizen comments. With that, I think we already exhausted the citizen comments online. We'll move to item 4, budget presentations with Mr. Antonson up first.
Page 14.
Scott, all yours.
Okay. So for the tax collector's office, for the 26-27 budget expenditures, starting with professional and technical services, no change to my legal line. Professional affiliations actually went down $50. And that's for the 2 associations that we belong to, Connecticut Tax Collectors and the Wyndham Tallinn Tax Association. Next is travel. That is a sizable increase because right now we are using our own vehicles for all of our meetings, and I've got both employees involved in the classes, so they're traveling to and from Berlin. Meetings and fees, that also increased by $285 to $1,035. Training is down by $250 to $1,000. Advertising, I'm sorry, professional services, the next line. That's a $1,627 increase, and that is mainly due to the cost of postage for the mailing of the tax bills, and advertising, which is the legal notices. I saw a $450 decrease from $1,200 down to $750, and like I say, those are the 6 required legal notices and the notice for transfer station permit renewals. So that line, I have a total of $12,992. And then if I drop down to office supplies, I'm at $5,869, which is an $873 increase, and that is mainly for the cost of the printing and binding of the rate books, and the printing and processing of tax bills. Also includes a lease for the copier scanner in our office. So those added together is a total of $18,861 as far as for expenditures for the office. Are there any questions?
I have a question. Your copier scanner lease, how come you're not on the same budget line item as every other machine in this building? Do you do your own thing in your office with your copier scanner?
We did. We actually had tied on to the school because we have a Xerox machine. We did that a couple of years ago.
So just to be clear, and this is a bigger point, we have a separate contract for our 2 copy machines and other things in every office, but your one office has a completely separate contract?
It sounds like it's
With the school?
coordinated with Heather's contract, because she
Yes.
has a copier contract.
Right.
Yeah, but so
Might be an opportunity.
so do we. I just renewed it 2 weeks ago. Just that,
Okay.
yeah, strange.
Okay.
To that point, it sounds like there's an opportunity here, either.
Yeah,
the school,
100%.
Opportunity for the town to consider.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, so.
Yeah, agreed.
When I just know that when I was looking to replace it, I believe our contract was with Rico, is what we use.
Yeah.
And we got a price from them, and then I got a price from the school based on, well, price from Xerox based on the school's contract. And it was much better than what
Yeah.
Rico could give me. So that's what we did, but they had to put us on our own account.
Morning.
Okay,
It'd be nice if we can get them all under one.
Well, I thought we were using the same vendor, but we had two separate contracts for the two buildings because we just renewed it and saved a considerable amount of money going into this next fiscal and chopped the selectmen's budget by a fair amount. And I thought that was all, like logically, I thought that was all machines under this roof. So just something that I gotta follow up on tomorrow with Murray, that's all.
okay.
No worries. Appreciate you, Scott.
Anyone else? Questions or comments?
I'm sorry, mailing is postage is where, what line?
13A.
Professional services? Yeah.
13A professional services, yes.
And why is it 26% again?
What is that?
Why is it going up 26%?
Between the quantity of the bills being printed, cost of,
Than last year?
yes, cost of postage increase,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. The quantity, there's more bills?
yes, and these are based directly off the quotes right from the vendor, quality, QDS, Quality Data Service.
Thank you.
What kind of, the question that I had, Scott, can you, give us a percentage or a roundabout number? What quality is actually doing physically versus what the postage is, the labor versus split, what the split is? So I mean, it could be 20% for postage, it could be 80% of what, doing the others, so. Be nice to know, because that was added last year in the budget.
Mhm.
You said it's cheaper. Okay, to do it, outsource it versus doing it in.
Correct.
The number of that actually was always got the 6254. More than that came out of another line item in another department.
Right.
It's like a big ad last year, but that now is down. Want to move back on that?
Yeah, that would be best,
I
right?
just send it to Bill and we can recap on it next week.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I can give you a breakdown.
Yeah, I wanted to also call out, same call out, Ken, on that line item, that it's actually, it's a big number, it's a savings to the town.
Right, because the postage used to be in the town hall, 1805, whatever that's,
It's more just for postage than to do the whole thing. So
correct.
I don't know the exact numbers. I think, Bill, if you're in agreement, and Scott, like, these aren't really professional services, can we just call it postage and
Sure.
postage for tax bills or something? I mean, something, call it what it is, so we know, we'll know in the future.
Right.
I think we needed a place to put it last year. So we expanded.
Well, because it was always in office supplies.
Good to pull out.
Right.
Just rename
I
it.
was actually gonna suggest, if we make that change, the line item that's in office supplies, which is for the
Okay, anything else for Scott?
That was a comment on the board.
The owl isn't
doing as good a job tonight.
Am I supposed to be looking at now?
No, you act like it's not even there.
It's looking at you.
Yeah.
Scott, there's no further questions from the group? Okay, thanks, Scott.
No, it's.
Next up, item B, Veteran Services, Mr. Moore. Is there Mr. Moore in the house?
Page 36, Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, and members of the audience, and a video. my next door neighbor. It's nice to see you here.
Okay, click back. to
We
the
lost video on the owl.
Nope, go back, you're just gonna.
Yeah, the owl died.
Sounds like it's.
So
The
it's,
computer is sensing it, like picking up and dropping.
yeah,
I probably, it's pretty distracting.
so we lost it. We're good? Is it like unplugged or something? What is going on here?
It's on. I think your computer is a little crazy tonight.
Yeah, it's not detecting it anymore. That's it's going in and out. Do we want to switch to the other camera?
In person used to work so. I said that earlier, 1785 to about 10 years ago. It was awesome. All those years.
109 minute Zoom, you can manage.
All right.
Just
Actually, no, I'm kidding. This is like the first time I can figure out. You got pretty solid.
Worked great.
I already got it up.
No, I'm saying the owl. We're pretty.
Owl's back up,
Okay.
maybe.
No, it's just the built-in web camera.
I'll double check, cause it just popped that, it said
Oh,
owl.
let's start from the beginning.
We're pretty much still there, Brian, so you gave it a good time.
We waited for you.
We back, Arjun?
It looks like we're back, yeah.
If you can just note Brian entered at 6:29. Okay, alive.
All right, great, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Veterans Office budget, very little to talk about there. The 9901 top line is what it has been, and that's perfectly okay. I don't work for the Veterans Office for the pay, that's for sure. I do it out of a labor of love. Professional and technical services, meetings, et cetera. There was $100 in the budget for there last year. I don't use, when I go to classes or conferences or travel anywhere, that comes out of my pocket. I believe that I want to do that for probably everyone in the room here is going to hate me after saying that, but I don't need reimbursement, and I pay for my own classes and stuff, so we can make that line item zero. The only other item in play here is what is called office supply line item. I think that's a catch-all for everything where Paula codes all of my stuff. I really only have two expenses every month over the course of the year. One is for my monthly ad in the Shopper's Guide congratulating the Veterans of the Month. It's $53 bill each month, and one for the plaque that is given to the Veteran of the Month also. So those are really the only two expenses that I have in my office. Doesn't add up to a whole lot of money. This year, I want to, a couple of things I do want to talk about quickly. I really believe that the Veterans Office or the town needs a nice a plaque on the wall here across from the Veteran and Selectman's office, like the fire department has, that would have the names of all of the monthly recipients of the Veterans of the Month Award. You know, we give them all a plaque. We do a lot of stuff for them that, quite frankly, doesn't cost us anything. But we don't have a plaque here in the building that 5 years from now, or even now, anyone could say, I wonder who that very first person was. So I've got a quote, and I think it should be in your packets, right? From the people that I do business with monthly for the plaque, for $495 to get a permanent plaque on the wall that has space for 60 months, 60 veterans. So I would like to add that to my budget. The only other thing there is a significant expense. I don't believe it's going to pass muster here, but I've been asked in the past by members of the Board of Selectmen, why don't we have posters of our veterans around town like Dudley does, like Putnam does, et cetera, et cetera. And I promise, you know, I've never had in the budget before. We've never done that before. So I got quotes from Chase Prunery, where most of the other area towns that do this get their material. And you can see that it's quite costly. If we did just 25 banners, they're $85.20 each, and the bracket is $120 each. That's a couple $100 per pole. If we did 50 at one time, the cost goes down because, you know, there's a decrease because there's more. But even you know, at 50, it would cost $3,805 for 50 banners and $5,520 for, granted, it's a one-time cost for the brackets, but it would be rather significant. So I wanted to illustrate that here. It's in the budget because I was asked to put it in the budget. Quite frankly, I don't know that I've got, you know, I've got time to do anything like that. I'm contracted for 6 hours a week. I average 15 to 20 hours a week. And I'm not looking for any more pay. I do this as a labor of love for the veterans, but just, you know, to point out the obvious. So that's it. Any questions?
Rainy.
Yep.
Could we find a way to do like business sponsorships on those banners and stuff?
Well, again, you know, that's a
think that
very
would be a good
time-consuming effort.
Yeah.
You know, Putnam has a 20-hour week person who handles that, and Dudley
Yeah.
does as well. Yeah. I'm paid for 6 hours.
No, I get it.
Put in
I-
15 to 20, ask Frank, and ask Marie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out of here
Totally
later
get it.
than
You
she
know,
is
I-
most nights.
I
Yeah.
think we could find a way to push things.
Well, that would be wonderful. I think it would be nice to have. I don't think it's necessary this budget year, but
Yeah.
down the road.
No, every time I've been in Putnam, I've thought about it to do it here. So
Yeah.
it does make sense.
So certainly would be nice.
How much in that budget is for that program? And we've talked about that.
10 of it,
Yeah,
right?
it's right
About
there.
10?
Did you get
I
my,
did not get.
oh, you
Yeah,
guys
we
didn't get
get
the,
No.
We didn't get it.
oh, you didn't get the backup. Okay.
I get the back.
Oh.
Math's about 9,300.
I say.
Yeah, $9,325.
Yeah, so
That's more than doubled
Yeah.
the amount of the veterans budget, so just for that, so. You guys are more than welcome to do what you want with it. I'll do whatever you wish.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you.
I believe each party was supposed to bring copies with them. I believe that was the email that was sent out. So, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Mr. McGarry, we're on item 4C, elections and registrations.
Page 17.
Every time I hear the page number, I think I'm in church. It's not coming from far away.
That means you're gonna start singing soon? Okay.
worth a try.
Well, speaking of numbers, these numbers are very impressive, and we thank Bill Steglitz for his valuable insight in compiling them, but I like to think in small numbers. So let me ask you, gentlemen, to add some numbers to your sheets. Small numbers. On the fiscal year 24, right at the bottom, write the number 4. On the fiscal 25, at the bottom, write the number 4.
We had no 24.
Yeah, 24, sir. You gotta add it.
That's okay.
It's coming.
It's coming. Oh, wait a minute.
There.
I got fiscal 24 actual, right?
Well, you got.
No.
So start with 25.
We're starting at
Again,
25.
4. Just move on.
How come I got this? I walked in and I picked it. Oh, okay. Well, where do we start? What year do we start with actuals? Actuals.
25.
Actual 25. Write 4 at the bottom of that column. Right. Fiscal year 26 projection, write 6 at the bottom of that column. And fiscal year 27 original proposed budget, write 6. Okay? Those are the numbers of election voting events that we have experienced or we expect to experience in the coming year. And since you deprived me of the drama of hearing about fiscal 24, I'll move on to fiscal 25. The number 4, 1 primary, 1 general election, 2 referendums. Fiscal year 26 projection, 5 referendums, 1 general election. And fiscal 27 proposed 2 primaries, 1 general, and 3 referendums. Now, in all that, you can see that our expenditure requirements are all over the place. Actually, about 25% of our budget is fixed and about 75% is variable cost, depending upon the number of events that we have to finance. Okay. Questions?
Makes sense. The increases you asked really just tied to the current year actuals. Makes sense.
Yes. In the current year projection, I expect we're going to have 2 referendums before the year is out.
Now we're gonna have one.
You only have 1, huh?
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
That would be great.
So 26.
Steve, how you do that? I could never do that when I was on your board.
It looks like 26 was budgeted to be like 25, but it didn't come in like that. It came in higher.
Mm-hmm.
Budgeting 27 to look like a revised 26.
Projected 26.
Projected or revised. Any questions? I don't have any questions. Any other members have any questions?
Negative.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time, gentlemen.
Thanks,
And
sir.
I do wish you well in your work.
On to item D, town clerk.
Page 18. Renee's gonna be presenting, I believe, from Zoom. Oh, let's give her a quick text.
She's not on Zoom?
I just texted her.
Okay.
I saw her.
She was on.
No, she's Renee. She's there.
Get on computer.
She texted unmute, said unmute me.
I think I'm upset now.
There you go.
Okay, reaction.
All right. Well, I'm looking at Gail's prepared document. I'm filling in for her tonight. So give me a second here. The first line, line 9 is our index and recording. And that's for land records and vital records as well. July 1st of 26, our contract renews, and it is for the land records is going up from $1,500 a month to $1,685. So that's really the bulk of that increase there. Advertising is significant, and I very much like Frank said with that particular line, it can fluctuate depending if there's town meetings and ordinances that are approved, and we have to do those legal notices for those, or employment contract. Certain employment contracts have to be noticed legally, and that comes out of our budget. So I think Gail is covering, as we are going to be, looks like significantly over this year, still under our overall budget. So we'll be fine that way. But I think that's why she increased it to the 1,200. And I believe that is the only major increase. Oh, the only thing I would suggest, when I was looking at that, she decreased travel by 100. And now we have a new assistant who will be once again traveling to get trained, 2 classes a year, and there are 2 state conferences a year. I would leave it at the 400. because like Scott said, we do not have that vehicle, the town vehicle to use any longer. We have to, use our own and get reimbursed. So I would at least keep that at the 400. And that's all I have, I think.
Any questions? Thank you very much, Renee.
Thanks,
All
Renee,
right.
for stepping up.
Yeah.
No worries, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, item E, Board of Finance.
Page 9,
Actually,
the first page. It's easy. So I'll handle it.
That would be awesome.
That's fine.
That's great.
It's pretty quick here. The increase in line 6, financial and accounting, is the contractual increase on the audit fee for King and King. Little note, that's, believe it or not, it's already the last year of the contract. I feel like we just signed with them, so we will be going out to bid for audit services again soon. Line 10 was reduced by $450 to reflect the current the projection for FY26. We don't seem to be doing a lot of printing and publication from this board, so I reduced the budget accordingly. Those were the only two changes other than the 3% salary increase.
Excellent. Bill and I went over this earlier. I don't have any questions. Does anyone else have any questions? Pretty simple, straightforward. Thank you, Bill.
Yep.
Keeping on the same theme, item F, finance treasurer.
13, budget 1301, which is page 13. Really not a lot of movement here. Travel, we are thinking we're consistent with last year's budget there. We hardly ever use that line, but it's really there just in case. Meetings and fees we had reduced in the prior year to more accurately reflect the split of it's really dues and CPE credits to maintain my certification, but I can split those between the town and the school, so that was the reduction last year, and there's no other changes.
Okay. Not mostly, all salaries.
Yep.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions for Bill on the
Meetings, Bill? It's really fees, it's really CPE credits and dues that hit that line.
Current year, very low number for some reason.
Very low number. We haven't spent it yet, and I'm actually not due until June. So that's the numbers haven't hit yet.
Meaning the 336 is probably understated the current year.
Yeah, it might go up just a little bit.
Or a lot more next year.
Yes.
Yeah, we know. My point. Sure, you can. Yeah.
Any other questions? Hearing none. We'll move on to recreation.
Page 42.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. All right. I'll try to be brief, but before I get into the budget line, just want to give a brief update on the state of the rec department. So in calendar year 2025, we saw over 2,700 participants in over 60 individual programs. Includes 93 children who attended the Thompson Adventure Camp in 2025 and 55 students who have utilized the Purely Rec before and after school program in this school year. The camp and the after school programs are the lifeblood of the rec program, but and not simply enrichment opportunities, but they are a workforce support system. By providing affordable, reliable supervision during non-school hours, we enable parents and guardians to maintain full-time employment. We reduce absenteeism at the school and continue to allow families to contribute to the tax base. This directly supports household financial stability and sustains our local economy. I don't want to undersell the rec department's recreational outlet for many residents, specifically the seniors, keeping in mind that most of these programs are self-funded, almost entirely self-funded. And credit to Amanda, who's done great work with securing an ARPA grant fund for the seniors, and partnering with insurance companies like Renew Active, which has helped us reduce costs for senior fitness programs and increase enrollment in that age bracket. So that being said, in anticipation of a challenging budget year, budget cycle, very little changes to our general budget, just the standard salary increases and a small increase for our software fee, which has just had a small increase. Besides that, we do have a $90,000 request in for capital. So if you have any questions of the general budget, we can talk about the capital request. It's up to you guys.
Did you say 95,000?
90,000. So that's to retrofit the softball lights at Riverside Park. Those were decommissioned in 2023. At that time, we had several quotes, with the low end being 52,000, high end being around 95,000. We've been requesting money in capital since then. I believe in fiscal 25, it's agreed that 52,000 would be put towards that project, with 26,000 coming in fiscal 25 and 26,000 coming in fiscal 26. I believe that was removed from the budget in fiscal 26. So unsure if that 26,000 is still available from fiscal 25 to go towards this project. The Rec Commission is very excited about getting this project moving, and has committed 15,000 from our rec fund to this project as well. We did get some recent quotes. Obviously, the cost of the project has gone up significantly. So on the low end now, we have 85,680. When we have also two other quotes for 116, 125,000. So we're trying to gauge where we can, what we need to make this project happen. And that field is really our primary recreational field in town. Supports Little League softball, supports middle school softball team, Nikon soccer. As in the past, hosted Jack Benny, the firefighter softball league. We've been approached by the local representative for NFL flag who would like to use the field. We don't have, the field doesn't have enough free space, free time to make it happen for them. But if we can get the lights, hopefully offer more recreational opportunities for everyone in town. So.
Is the 90,000 actually looking for capital net on the 15?
That's the total. It can be adjusted. No, so it was put in as a placeholder, as an estimate prior to the quote. So now we have a quote slightly lower, 85,680. And then again, I'm unclear if the 26,000 that was committed in fiscal 25 is still available. And then we have 15,000 committed, which could supplement,
So it would be instead of 90 or instead of 85,
potentially,
70, maybe.
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
I remember this clearly. I remember coming down because it's a safety issue.
Correct. Yeah.
We came down. Bill, do we have that 26 set aside?
That was put in the pool, in the municipal repair fund pool, and the remaining balance in that fund right now is just under $150,000.
So it was included in the overall pool. It wasn't.
Right.
Was it specifically put in an earmark for this?
The determination is, and I can't speak for the board, but my understanding was at the time when you guys had ideas and put money in there, that it was sort of non-binding. That was, the thought was that that's what it would be used for, but it's really at the board's discretion as to how it is actually used.
In the event that some other crisis
Right.
came up.
Since then, it's been, the decrease in that balance was driven by the remainder of the library oil project that wasn't covered by library. Previously appropriated library funds like their maintenance account, and a couple other things that were in capital.
What's the balance again on the municipal?
Just over $148,000. 148,014.
So for those who may or may not have been here through that period, we had, my recollection at the time wasn't just this project, there were other projects where we said, you know, we kick things down the road because we can't afford them. We took an approach to say, let's partially fund it, so we're still kicking it down the road, but at least we're getting started, and then maybe the next year we can, in the case of the lights, 26 and 26 is 52. Pretty remarkable, challenging number, but just shows you the magnitude of what, you know, where prices have gone, right? You went from nothing, you didn't change the scope.
Correct, yep.
52 to 85.
It's actually, and the low estimate is from the same, contractor, so, right.
52 to 85 to labor and parts. We gotta see that kind of price. Any other questions from Brian?
Just how you doing with the ice rink?
How's the other?
The ice rink's up, it's been challenging with the weather,
Frozen?
it's frozen for sure. It's,
Would guarantee.
yeah, they, obviously with like 3 feet of snow and, the ice is choppy, but yeah. But it's something that we'd like to see, that is another, you know, thing, speaking with members of the rec commission, where they'd like to see, you know, make it bigger. Obviously, it was kind of a pilot, it was a small rink this year, make it bigger. Now we kind of know how to do it, how to build it, best place to do it. I think it could be a great program going forward.
And funded to do it.
This one was donated, so, yeah.
Correct.
But yeah, if we were to make it bigger, yes, we would need some funding to increase the scope of it.
Which is not in here. That's not contemplated.
Not part of the budget.
No, not part of the budget, no.
Good question. Any other questions? Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Right.
You should all guys do. Okay, moving on to H.
Page
Library. Excuse me,
Page 38.
page 38.
Speaking of
H, library, Rachel.
I know, thank you. You can feel it.
Okay. Hello.
Good evening.
Hey, Rach, thanks for coming.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It'll be your first time, so if you have any questions, don't be nervous.
I am
We're all
nervous.
We're a good group, mostly.
Okay, so what I've learned from everybody else is to skip the salaries because that's all 3% raises that everybody gets. The next change is going to be with our copiers and our postage and rental supplies. We're changing our copiers to do something more efficient, so we're saving $1,000 with that. And our automated circulation system just goes up by 2% every year. So that's what that 730 increase is. The next section of professional and tech services, the 3 changes at the top are just general things get more expensive. So other supplies is up 25, library supplies is up 80, and programs and publicity is up 100. And those are just generally because the world is more expensive than it was last year. So that's all that is. Then there's the book budget, which we would like to please buy books. So I have it set to what it was before it got cut last year. And similarly with the audiovisual materials, we've had many patron complaints over the last, since this fiscal year started, how many months that's been, 7 months, 6 months, 8 months, that we don't have enough books because we don't have the money for it. We've gotten many patrons saying, where is this new book that has come out? And we can't buy it because we don't have the budget for it. We also had to change some of our buying practices. We used to buy multiple copies of very popular books because patrons would want more than one patron would want the book. But we only are buying 1 copy per book, and so patrons have to wait longer for their books. They also have to try to get them from other libraries, which cuts our circulation statistics down. But yeah, the big thing is that our patrons are not happy with the lack of books at the library. So that's why we would humbly request that we have some more money for our books. That's all I got.
Excellent.
I think,
Yes.
how is your,
Mhm.
activity count? Used to be a patron count. What do we call it?
No.
There's one each year and, I don't think it's the last couple of years, but I wonder if we could see what's happening in terms of activity.
She came prepared.
That's like, yeah, but.
You can
I was
ask.
trying.
Yeah.
I was trying.
All right, so this has a lot of different things on it.
We can share a couple.
Okay. I printed out a bunch, don't worry.
Okay.
Oh. Mhm. You're on? Let's see that. Okay, so on here, you will see one side says acquisitions and one side says circulation. The website that says circulation has patron visits compared to last fiscal year and this fiscal year. You will see that our patrons numbers have actually gone up. So the visits have gone up, but our circulation stats and the number of books we've gotten have gone down. So people are coming into the library, but checking out less because there are less to check out. Does that answer your question?
How about the year before that?
The year- Not on me.
Again, just to give me some sort of.
I can look. I can find. I have that statistic somewhere. But Mhm.
The only question that I have, you're changing your copiers because of more in depth, what you need to
Yeah.
use them for.
Yeah.
Again, school, town, library, big contract.
We're on the same.
One team, we've
One
had that
team.
conversation every day for the last 3 months.
Well, no, it's more so critical now
True, yeah.
that the bigger the contract,
The better the borrowing power, yeah.
and maybe the bidding on it.
I agree.
I think
Going out for new ones?
Yeah, we just started,
Right now?
like right now, Marie and I just met a couple of weeks ago and saved a considerable amount of money here in this building alone. Just like Rach did.
yeah, I think our contract is with the same
It's
people.
the same vendor,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
but it's two separate
Oh, I see.
budgets, so it's two separate contracts, I believe is how it's,
Free county school.
three county
Yeah,
the
it's
school.
In the end, it's all down though.
So that's another good call. I'm trying to save some money.
So what, like I said, that's on my list. Actually, yeah, on my list.
Well, the contractor charging different numbers?
You have copies?
I think it's
of-
different units and such, so
Go ahead,
Well,
Rob.
it'd be different for.
Are they different, are they same copiers, is yours bigger, they're smaller, is it? I mean, or are they similar and are you getting the same price as the mayor's getting?
So I know when we just looked at it, there are a lot of options like lease versus new refurbished versus new, page counts per minute, how many prints, color versus black and white, internet capability versus none, single stage versus dual, can it staple versus can it not? Like, so yeah, we really looked at a full detailed list of like bang for the buck. I know we kind of in the town hall, like we went down a little on like copies per minute because we don't need like 1,000 copies, in 30 seconds. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Did
So
you share that with Rachel?
I think we have a separate thing we have two copiers that we lease from Rico, one for the patrons and one for us in the back, for the staff. But we don't need a huge one for the staff in the back, so we're gonna downsize and make it so it's useful for us.
We can group them all together, 3 entities.
yeah, I'll look into that.
Plus the town garage.
Yeah, get around the highway garage. That's under the town side area.
Yeah.
Scott wasn't. Okay. You made me under the.
Should have been.
Anyone else, any other questions? Okay, that's Rachel 1.0, now we have
Yep.
Rachel 2.0.
Go again.
And the community center,
Page 39.
39, again. Thank you, Bill.
These are much the same. The 3% increase for our morning and evening custodians. And then down under electricity, that's just an increase for how much electricity we're using. I'm gonna be really honest. The electricity, phone, fuel, that was all Bill, because he knows more than I do. So he helped me with this, so thank you very much.
It's been bundled already.
Those were suggestions from Bill, and so he knows more than I do, so yeah. The one big increase on this would be line item for building repair and maintenance. Don't know how much you guys know about what's gone on in the last few weeks at the library, but we need a lot of repairs. We've had in the last couple months, within a 2.5 week period, we had our mechanic company come out 6 times to work all day, multiple days, 6 days in a week, in 2.5 weeks. So I haven't gotten those invoices back yet because it was last week. So I haven't gotten the exact numbers of how much that's going to cost me, but we would like to anticipate nothing else bad happening, but just in case it does, that's what that increase would be for. And everything else is just $50 for office supplies.
Yeah, I know that you're new.
Yeah.
Taking over and filling big shoes. We did do a study several years ago with Ty and Bond of a repair, setting things up. It isn't the office. Ty and Bond did it, and they set up, yeah, this heater needs to be done, this, and it was all laid out over a period of time. That included the sprinkler system, which we did cover a few years ago, but it may be enlightening for her to be able to see what some of that is. And I would have to think that Allison got it tucked in there somewhere.
I'll speak to that. So the last 2 weeks have been a sincere domino effect of people ignoring exact studies like that and a catastrophic failure due to proper preventative maintenance and recommendations of replacement. No short of a miracle that we have heat today, but so many things have been neglected down there. And to be quite frankly honest, things that needed to be preventative maintenance were simply not done. So now we're at a point where we're probably going to have to replace 6 to 8 heat pumps in the next 6 months. The duct tape is now on the paper roll. We're out of duct tape down there. We spent days upon days at the library with contractors, our own building official, the awesome library board and Rach, and yeah, we're there. So I just wanted to note to this group, the $6,000 to $8,000 increase, incredibly unrealistic. Incredibly unrealistic. Let's multiply that maybe by, I don't know, 3, 4, 5.
I would like to point out that the budget from 25 was 25,000.
Yeah.
So I'm low balling.
It may be something that we look at a bond over.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have to talk about this, whether it might be capital, but Bill wants to speak to that.
Because we're on the line, we do have, and this is probably too small of a number given the scope you're talking about now, but when this document was prepared, we had a capital item library heat pump replacements for $38,548. So there's money on the capital related to this issue. Probably not enough to cover it, but there is something else there.
Yeah, things have changed since we did that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so definitely just, I wanted for the board, we have everybody in the room right now, just a realistic conversation that's gonna have to be had soon. Whether we have it, tonight or whatever.
Without getting into the finite details here, Nick, what portion of this is kind of done unto us by not having proper preventive maintenance versus end of life? End of life is end of life. You gotta deal with that. But
I think
we paying for things because
that is a good question.
The system is 30 years old, so.
Yeah.
Building was built in 94.
Yeah. I think it's a mix, right? I think we're seeing end of life, but I think that the library board and Rach, all the documents that we uncovered, that there was a lot of recommendations made and not a lot of follow through. Not one person's, to be honest, probably not anybody in this room's fault, but yeah. So I think due to that, it's caused the domino effect where our end of life is being pushed up a little.
And who manages the care of the building? Like, it's time to get a boiler service. Does that fall on the director?
Yep. We have one of our service contract That went up a little bit because of just generally. We have a preventative maintenance service contract with MCOR. And they come out quarterly, and then whenever we have problems, we just call them up and they bolt out.
I asked the question mainly because your expertise is probably not in building maintenance.
Nope.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Well,
in the last few weeks it has.
no, I think it's maybe an opportunity for us again to think
Yeah.
town-wide. We have talent across the town in
Mhm.
fixing. Working on, some things are contracted out, but we have talent across the town. It might be something just worth, not here and now, but think about how we could just be more
And
efficient.
to speak to that, as far as being efficient, the conversation has been had publicly about the town's hiring of a building maintenance supervisor for the school. The superintendent and I and others have had a conversation about making that a town-wide position. So that's like something that's gonna probably be a thing, I would assume.
Okay.
Having sat where Nick is sat and Steve's moving forward, it's not for not wanting to do it.
Yeah.
It's putting the Band-Aid on it because of budget constraints.
Yeah.
That has been our biggest issue because we've done all the studies.
Yeah.
It's just implementing and coming up with the money.
Yep. I agree.
You don't wanna do it, it's not.
Yeah.
funding.
It's not in the funding to do it.
It's correct, yeah. This isn't a standalone data point. Yeah.
100%, and I respect that.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, hang on, any other questions? Well,
You got your hands.
Just a library board, trustee member, comment. I know it's not a citizen's comment, I apologize. But, it was very helpful. A little over a week ago, we had a joint meeting of the library board and the building official came, Nick came, Larry came, Jeff was there, I'm sorry.
I missed that one.
Emergency management came.
There's so many
Yeah.
people that came, we all sat in this room because it was warm. But we had a really good, open dialogue amongst all of us, so that I think it cleared up a lot of the questions that we had. And I was very grateful that we were able to have that opportunity, and we are planning to do it again in the not too distant future. So it was very informative.
thank you, Don. Okay,
Likewise.
thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
For your first. Excellent job.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Thanks, Rachel.
on to, item J, probate court.
Page 20.
Gabby,
Gabby, yeah.
page 20.
Hi, everyone. Thanks. I'm gonna kind of have my back to a couple of you, so I apologize. We had a good year. Numbers are slowly increasing for, calendar year 2025. We saw roughly 6,800 activities. Activities are brand new petitions, brand new applications, and hearings. And when I talk about probate court statistics, I'm talking about Putnam, what we call the adult court. I'm not talking about the children's court. That's funded separately. We do that separately. So we had a pretty good year. That being said, we've got some increases. You see insurance, that's going to be a brand new, we've had it before, but it's just been lumped in another place. So that's an increase on the budget. Telephone, our phone systems, we currently are paying $325 a month, so that's, roughly $4,000. I'm guessing it's going to go up this year because we've had the same price for 2 years. Postage is something we really struggle with. I was prepared to come here telling you that we've had 2 months recently where our postage was $900 for the month. We just had an $1,100 month. So my chief clerk and I have done a deep dive into what we can possibly do to reduce postage. We actually got rid of the postage meter. We were only saving 4 cents a stamp, and the cost of the fees for the rental and everything wasn't doing it. So for now, we've gone back to old school. We're buying rolls of stamps. What we're also doing, what I'm not necessarily happy about, but we're going to see how that works, is we get calls all the time from consumers who want us to mail them forms. So instead of outright mailing them forms, we're instructing them how to print out the form online to save a little bit of postage. That seems to be okay. We haven't heard a whole lot of feedback on that, but we're trying it. Maybe we go back to it. I don't know what the cost savings on that's going to be. So that's that. Equipment and furniture, that stays static. Office supplies, that is static, but we're actually looking at possibly doing something different. Every clerk when I took office, every clerk has their own printer. It's on their desk. Toner cartridges are $500 a piece, and each clerk uses 2 a year. So there's roughly $3,000 of that budget. $3,000 is toner cartridges. So we're looking at the possibility of, instead of having, each clerk have their own copier to rent, I'm sorry, to have their own printer, to rent a copier. And which would include exactly, with central, we're a small enough court so that the clerks sit close together. They're not doing a ton of printing. We don't do a ton of that. So I'm thinking that maybe if we rent a copier, which includes free toner, we can cut back on that.
We got a guy if you're interested.
I am definitely interested. So I heard the and I'm like, well, could we be part of that and, and figure out what that looks like? But I think we can take, when I first took office, we're buying we tried to cut costs. So I bought a generic copier, not a generic cartridge. Big mistake because it blew out the copier. We had to buy a new one. So that's that. Rent is 5% a year, so that's going up again. Fiber and WebEx, that's kind of a new item that's on the budget. All of our archived records used to be microfiched. So what would happen there? It wasn't on the court budget, but every quarter or so we would get a bill from the microfiche vendor and would pass it on to the town. So it's a new item, so it looks like the budget's higher, but you were paying it like separately anyways. So what Fiber and WebEx is, our case management system is fiber-based. Administration mandates that it be fiber-based. And so now we get a bill every December. The last bill was $6,200. We're told it's going to go up substantially. So it's the fiber that runs our case management system, and WebEx is the system that we use for our virtual hearings. So that's fiber, WebEx, and the service contract for WebEx. Cleaning, that stays the same. Heat and electric, I'm guessing that's going to go up, substantially. We have Eversource for heat and electric. So we're paying roughly $600 to $700 a month. The two bills vary, obviously. If it's the winter, we're paying more in natural gas. If it's summer, we're paying more on the electric side for air conditioning. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Any question? Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming, but,
No.
I'm guessing the biggest item on there is, I don't have the detail.
I'm sorry.
We can pass it around if you want.
Is rent.
Isn't the big item is personnel?
No, you don't pay personnel.
Oh, okay.
No, I think, don't quote me on this. I want to say it's Connecticut General Statutes 45A-8. I think, because I was looking at it, I think it's -8. That is the statute that indicates what the municipalities have to provide for the court. So the municipalities, the 7 towns that support the court, you pay for what I call the physicality, all the expenses associated with that. Our personnel and all of those types of expenses get paid through probate court administration. So the municipalities pay for the physicality, and every fee that we generate, whether it's a filing fee, a probate court fee, a continuance fee, any copy fee, any fees that we generate goes to the treasurer, state of Connecticut. And and roughly the probate court fees and all the fees that we generate basically account for 75% of our court budget as a whole. So that's how that works.
Just, we're doing it by per capita?
Yes. So what I do is, I figure out what I need for the budget, and then I figure out the population of each town, and you can see at the bottom, it's allocated. I will.
No.
Okay, got it? Okay, yeah. So obviously Thompson's paying a little bit more than Eastford.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it's roughly $1.76 per capita. That's how I've done it. So any questions or?
Any other questions?
We had a good year.
Thank you for the work you do.
No, we love it, so thank you.
The only question I have.
Yep.
You got the population of 9628 from where?
I Googled it.
Cause I didn't think we were up that high.
For every single town. Yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were stuck away in 93, then you still on.
For every single one, I just Googled it. That seemed to be, and that's what I did for every single town. So. That's done. That's what we've got.
Any other questions?
Wikipedia, some use.
Yes.
Thank you. Jen.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Okay,
Take care. Have a good night.
Have a good evening. Next up is access agency jail. Page 30.
Yes, I apologize. I'm just here. I was hoping you could hear me.
We can hear you loud and clear, Dale. No worries. Please, floor is yours.
Wonderful, wonderful. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you. One, thank you for inviting me to have the opportunity to be here, even if it's virtually. Really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to any of our participating towns about Access Community Action Agency and the work we do for your community. So thank you for that. And additionally, I just want to say a special thank you for Thompson. Based on my records, Thompson is one of the towns in our area that is consistently and regularly responds to our request for a town allocation of $1,000. And so thank you for that. We do ask each of the 28 towns through the northeast corner that we serve to support us in one way or another, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500, largely dependent upon town size as well as the number of households that we serve in that community. And so Thompson's just been regular and consistent in supporting us. And so we really just want to say thank you for that, and just recognize that. For those that may not know, and I'm going to be super quick. I want to keep this less than 5 minutes. I really appreciate your time. So, but real quick, Access Community Action Agency is a federally chartered community action agency. There are, I believe, 7 of us currently acting throughout the state of Connecticut, and dozens around the country. And we each have a geographical area that we focus on. And so for Access Community Action Agency, our area is Tolland and Windham County, the 28 towns that make up Tolland and Windham counties. And so we do reach out to each and every one of those towns and request a nominal allocation just kind of to support the work that we do in our area. The majority of our funding comes through state and federal dollars. We also do significant grant writing and fundraising. And we do, as I said, ask kind of a nominal allocation from each and every one of our towns that we serve. And so I just want to give you a little bit of statistics on the community of Tolland, the town of Tolland, and the households that we service there. Last year, and every year, we send a brief report. It's not all inclusive, but it's just a highlight kind of report. We send it out to each of the first selectmen of all the towns, and if the towns have a town manager, we send it there as well. Just saying, last year, this was the data, the statistics that we did for your community, and please consider supporting us going forward as well. So looking at Tolland's numbers, and this was for our fiscal year 2025, which ran the last 2 quarters of the calendar year 2024 through the first 2 quarters of the calendar year 2025. We had 12 households from Tolland that utilized our crisis intervention services.
Dale, so sorry to interrupt you, but you
Right ahead.
mentioned, I think you mean Thompson. You mentioned Tolland a few times. I just want to clarify.
Oh my gosh. Yes, so there's Tolland County, and if I said Tolland, I absolutely mean Thompson. I apologize for that. Yes, we service Tolland County as well, but if I said Tolland, I 100% meant Thompson in talking about the numbers that I'm about to share.
Okay. Just wanted to calibrate.
Thanks for stepping in, Bill.
Definitely, and I apologize for that. It was only because I mentioned Tolland County as one of the 2 counties that we service. That confused, or that got my tongue all tied up. So yeah, as I was starting to say, so 12 households from Thompson utilized our crisis intervention services. That would be our emergency services, potentially landlord-tenant mediation, our case management services, housing assistance, or employment services. So total of 12 households. And then as far as utilizing our food pantries, we had 5 households that made the trek probably into Danielson to see our food pantry. We have food pantries in Danielson, Willimantic, and then we have a mobile food pantry that also visits 20 stops a month. I'm not sure, based on these numbers, I don't believe that one of our stops would have been in Thompson, or there would have been a little bit higher numbers there as well. The big support that we have for Thompson, and this is not unusual, this is the majority of our towns have the bulk of their support coming from heat and energy assistance. And so 280 families from Thompson requested heat and energy assistance, or actually, I should say, received heat and energy assistance through the Access Community Action Agency through our state and federal funding programs, for a total of $257,067. So $257,067 dollars that were allocated toward 285 families in Thompson. And just an FYI, that money doesn't go to the families, but the families have to qualify based upon state and federal guidelines. And when they qualify and receive an award, the money actually goes directly to local vendors. So any of our heat and energy providers throughout the Northeast Connecticut that supply oil, energy, electric, propane, and any of our electric or heating or energy needs for our families, the money goes directly to the vendors, which I like to remind myself and others that goes directly back into our businesses in our local communities. So just wanted to give you a little bit of a snapshot as to how Tolland residents utilize Access Community Action Agency, and just have an opportunity to say thank you for the years that you've continued to support us, and ask you if you would continue to allocate $1,000 toward Access Community Action Agency and our work in the community going forward.
Super. Thank you, Dale. Any questions for Dale? Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Dale. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Dale.
Thank you.
We'll move on to agenda item L, United Services. Diane. Hi, Diane.
Page 35.
Brian, thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to present. I can bring some materials if anyone's interested in them. Please, I can just leave them behind and you're welcome to take them.
Absolutely.
So there's our annual report and then our latest newsletter that's out. We also do the newsletter online, so it goes out monthly to the community. So United Services is the local behavioral health provider. We are also a federally certified community behavioral health clinic. That's a grant we brought into Northeastern Connecticut 4 years ago. With that funding, we were able to take what the state gives us in grant funding, but that's very targeted to, you have to have the right diagnosis and the right age, and things are very targeted in the state of Connecticut. The federal money, surprisingly, is much more broad, so it allows us to serve people who don't meet all those little target populations, and helps to support that so that we can provide case management for people who need help finding housing, who need help finding treatment, who need help finding daycare, whatever, that we couldn't do under some of the funding that comes through the state. So that's something that we've added. And then I just wanted to point out, you do have our report about services that were provided to Thompson residents. But something we added in the last year was our primary care clinic. That has grown immeasurably. But with the closure of many of the practices that have been related to Day Kimball, the primary care practices recently, our caseload went from 3 in January of 2025 to we're now at 278 individuals that we're serving, all of whom have complex care because they have mental health diagnoses and multiple medical things going on. So we were able in that time frame, one of our measures as a certified community behavioral health clinic is to decrease hospital visits. We were able to decrease the hospital visits by 42% with the population we're serving, which means the volunteer ambulance isn't taking people in, the hospital emergency rooms are not serving people that could be reasonably served in the community. And that's the same thing that happens with our crisis response services, which are also here, mobile community response services. Rather than have somebody have to go to the hospital, we go to them. And that means that unless they need to be hospitalized, they don't have to use up resources in a hospital emergency department and back things up when that's not the best place to serve them. We do the same thing with the police response at here, with forensic services and jail diversion.
we're trying to keep people out of higher cost services by serving them in the community and decreasing their turnaround. So for instance, with someone that we work with forensic services, where we're going out with the state police and doing case management with those people, we have been able to keep 93% of people from having another contact with the police in a year by going in. And these are people who have multiple contacts because they have interpersonal things that are not domestic violence, but sometimes just families can't take each other anymore, frankly. So we get in there and try to solve the problems with them. Also get families where they're having problems with kids, get them into treatment, get them into some of our parenting programs, so that the police are not responding to things that are not really legal issues, but are psychosocial issues. So again, what we really are looking at is what can we do for people in the community to have their lives be better and have the cost be lower. So that's really bottom line of what we're looking at for programming. So the other piece that I would like to point out to you is the child guidance clinic with an 80% increase in contacts. I know you have had a contract in the school system for school-based health clinic. There's only so much that they can do with a family or someone who has higher level need. And so that's where we're seeing a huge increase. We also have the only child psychiatrist in Windham County or Talland County is on my staff. We have one for 2 counties. So if a child needs psychiatric care, they're going to end up in our clinic, or medication, if they're going to get the level of care that they really need. And so, yes, we do charge insurance for that. So, I mean, we do charge insurance, but Medicaid doesn't pay the cost. But we also help to transport the family. So if they can't get to us, we're going to go get them and get them to the psychiatrist so that we make sure that that care is in place. But those are just a couple of the things that I wanted to point out. I did also want to assure you that we don't do things that somebody else does if we can help it. So right now we're working with Teague, and I know that's right down the street here. We're working with them on 2 different projects that we brought in grant money to do with them. One is on human trafficking. We've had an increase in the number of young people who are being targeted, young women usually, but sometimes it's young men, that are being targeted, enticed down to the casinos mostly. But for human trafficking, we've been working with them on training schools personnel, doctors' offices, et cetera, to look for the signs of that, and also intervene. And we work with the police are also part of that. And then we just got a new grant from the Eastern Connecticut Foundation to do some art therapy with women. We have a lot of women, particularly here and in the 3 Rose area, that are pretty much isolated. And so we're doing some art therapy with them at the Teague office. So they can bring their kids, the kids can do their thing, and the women are working on some projects to really help them have some interaction with other individuals in the community, but also be able to express some of their anxiety and depression and do the therapy. And we brought it here because it made more sense than trying to move people all the way to Dayville to our offices. So we look at trying to do those things. Teague's a great partner for the things that they do really well, and why would we duplicate it? The partner. So it just makes more sense. Any questions?
I think maybe just a comment on the financials and the rise in year over year, what we're seeing. I'm looking at the right line item number 7. Around $2,000, the ask, and now it's 60.
And the ask hasn't changed, the allocation has changed. We've been asking for 75 cents per capita for like 6 years.
And the town is allocating 2,000.
Yes. Yeah, the ask hasn't changed.
What is it per capita?
75 cents.
75 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a quick question.
Sure.
You say you're doing primary care?
Yes.
You have a facility or that you?
It's in our actual clinic. We are licensed as a primary care clinic. It's in Dayville, right? Yeah.
I thought I heard that you were going to that.
Primary, no, you can't do primary. That's visiting nurses. That's a whole thing. But we actually have an APRN practicing in our clinic, and we do cardiograms, the whole thing, right on site.
Any other questions?
No, that pretty much summed up where Yeah. Jumped up so much.
That's my question too.
I figured that was the case. but-
Yeah,
Welcome to the team.
yeah, our ask hasn't changed.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for your help. Yeah, thank you. I think we'll move on, maybe we'll group M, N, and O, like it's one Jim Rivers, right?
And then one and only Q star S.
No, we'll give you 3 letters. We got 3 letters, Jim.
We got whatever you need. More than it.
Page 10.
This is my, oh, you have this, all right. Some of you.
Some, only the 3.
All right, that's good, because I make, ooh, no, that's good.
Well, you know what? Because-
Yeah, this, for those that are visually impaired like me, I made,
That's the one I couldn't.
I made 9 thinking there were 6 Board of Finance members and 3 Board of Selectmen members here in Tallinn. So I,
Say this.
does anybody else need one? He's off the call, I wouldn't say that. Do you have one? You do now. All right. Yes, this is a bigger one.
I was gonna remind you, Jim.
Got an
next
extra?
time. Isn't it line 12?
I think you're in Massachusetts, where I'm coming from. I tell the governor all the time, yeah, we're the towns over there in western Rhode Island that you know.
We get a special rate of dues membership.
Oh, you get the special Massachusetts rate. You want that one? So thanks for having me, everyone. I could talk all night. I'm gonna talk fast, because that's what I do. I talk fast. I know most of you, but just a 2-second bio. I'm Jim Rivers. I'm the Executive Director of Northeast Council of Governments, and I was previously the town manager in Wyndham for 7.5 years. I was a 4-term first selectman in the town of Pomfret many years ago, and I did a whole lot of things in manufacturing, private sector, finance, banking. I owned a lot of property in Kinley, Putnam, Pomfret, all over the place. I've since divested, thankfully, most of that. So I've been around. I've done a lot of things. Volunteer fire department, the Army 3 times. So I've kind of touched a lot of bases in my life. So I'm here, NECOG, serving you. For Thompson, you have a few services that we do currently provide you with, and it's on the chart. If you can read that chart, it's anything with a number in it. A block with a number means that we're currently providing that. And you could see this chart is getting harder to read because we keep adding columns. As you can see on the right side, there's a couple of new columns there from probably last year, because now we do town administration for 3 towns and human resources half a person for the town of Plainfield. So we keep adding services based on what the membership wants. There are 16 towns altogether, from Union to Voluntown and kind of everything in between. I have about 42 employees now. Our recurring budget is somewhere around $4 million and growing every year. And then we get a lot of special grants that might expand that revenue. Your census from the Department of Health, by the way, for the 2024 census on the state website is 9,513 people. That's the official state number. I don't know what you were talking about before with that exactly the number you were debating, but that's the number I use. I take it off the state website, the most recent data they provide. They're usually like 6 months or a year behind the year, so we don't have 25 numbers yet. So you have transit here, paramedic, and recently GIS. I think was that you joined GIS. Couple things I want to mention here. Transit is there are increases in here, mostly 2% and plus whatever your census number goes up. So if it goes up or down, that would adjust your rate as well, or your total figure. Paramedic is, or let's go back to transit for a second. So transit is highly subsidized by state and federal dollars. The towns pay 17% of the total cost of the transit district. And we have to maintain that 17%, or, they're only going to give us, that 33% from the state and 50% from the feds. If you're on your own for the other 17% one way there. So that basically what you see in those columns at the bottom adds up to about 17% from the towns that we have. On the paramedic program, that's sort of a pass-through. We negotiate that on behalf of all the towns that participate. The total cost per transport last year was $200. I don't know what the new rate's going to be. I don't have that yet. I don't think it's going to be a huge increase because he went up quite a bit last year. He has not come to me with any estimate yet. So that is an estimate. I don't know what the actual number is going to be, but also the estimated transports. The number I have currently is a 2023 base. That could be higher or lower for your town. I don't know. You have to find out what that number is. It changes. It's variable. You get reports every month that show you what your numbers are. I don't have those with me. So just keep in mind that number that I've given you is an estimate based on that pass-through from paramedic. You'll see the actual cost to you right now is $134 per transport, not the $200, which it costs NECOG. The reason for that is Day Kimball Hospital provides about a third of that $200 in a grant to us, if you will, for the moment. I always warn everybody that that could end at any time. There's no agreement. They just send us a third of the money, and I don't want to remind them there's no agreement because they might say, oh, there's no agreement, then we don't have to give it to you anymore. So they just keep sending the money, and we keep taking it, but there is no agreement. I would hope that with the Yukon merger thing, that would be more solid than less solid, but we'll see. GIS, again, you guys just came into that, and there's the price for next year for your town. That's pretty reasonable. So if you look at like GIS, I'm going to just pick on one thing. There's a lot here to talk about, but GIS, go down to the bottom, the total for next year, I'm expecting revenues of $31,000. I have a full-time master's degree person on that. So how am I doing that? I'm doing that because I get other grants. I get what is called a regional service grant from the state of Connecticut. I get an SPR grant, which is like a federal transportation planning grant that we use part of that to pay for that. So many of the programs that you have or don't have get subsidized in a way from other places. So that's why, like engineering, most of my towns that subscribe to engineering are getting a lot more. And in one project in 3 years, and he draws up a site plan for you, it's going to be more than, some of these towns, $5,000 a chaplain. I think we did a couple projects for them this year. It would have cost them $20,000. So, and then there's some years you might not have any projects. Some towns will bow out because they don't use the service, and then all of a sudden they got a project coming in, they'll jump back in. I haven't figured that out yet, how to handle that. But most of the towns hang in there whether they have a project that year or not. So engineering is, again, another subsidized. My full-time engineer does not cost $80,000 a year with benefits. It's substantially more than that. So again, most of the programs are subsidized by these other grants. Revaluation is a pass-through. You're not in that program. Back to human resource for a second. When I spoke to the prior first selectwoman, Amy, last year's cycle, I guess you had some human resources support from with a shared person of the Board of Education.
We did.
That ended, or at least that's what she said. Maybe it came back online. I don't know. But that ended, and she was interested in possibly buying a day because right now, we're also only half-time in Plainfield. I have some capacity. And that, I guess that didn't make the budget cycle. I guess might have been some discussion, maybe not. But anyway, that human resource thing, it's still available if you think you need that. One thing I want to go on to say, beyond what's on this chart, and by the way, we serve a lot of towns outside of our region that are not on the chart. These are just the towns within NECOG, especially animal control. I'll get to that in a second. But there's a lot of other services you get that are not on this spreadsheet. First of all, we are help desk. So if you need something, especially the first selectman, if you need something, you call us. You call me. You call me on my cell phone if your town's blowing up. If rail cars roll over in the off a track like Mansfield. If you need help, from all my small towns, you call me, and I might not be able to help you, but I'll be able to tell you who to call to help. So, but it could be HR. So you don't subscribe to HR. If you have a big problem and you don't want to call your lawyer because that's what most of us do now, and you just want some advice, call me up. I have a town administrators and a human resource person. I will put you in touch with them. If you need somebody to sit here or hire people or fire people and do daily work, you got to pay. But if you need help on anything, you just call up. And that, again, could be grants. Right now, we have 1.5 grant people paid for by other revenues that we receive. That is available to the town of Thompson. That's part of your membership. You get that grant person. I've got them focused on steep grants this year because we are woefully not applying for steep grants in this region. We were eligible for $16 million a cycle. which is usually every year in Northeast Council of Governments area. We got $2 million last year. $1 million went to Putnam and $1 million to a few other towns. We're not getting those. Those are easy grants. Those are what I call napkin grants. So I strongly, recommend getting in touch with those folks and my team, and we can help guide you through that. If you want to do it yourself, do it yourself, but we will help you with that. That is low-hanging fruit. And I want to see that number 2 million, 4 million, 5. I want to see more money coming to our area. And so that's there available for you. Lobbying. I guess I'm the lobbyist. I'm the lobby resource. I was in Hartford twice this week already. I'm on the phone. I was on the phone with May Flexer for an hour yesterday. So when you need some help, you got a special project, special thing, whatever it is, call me up, add me to the list, and I'll put some pressure. You got a state rep, you got a senator, but I'm also here for you as well. I'll tell you a piece of information you might want to hear that is fresh off the presses. My opinion is after 13 years of freezing ECS to towns in the pile of money to all the towns in the state of Connecticut, educational cost sharing and special ed, I think you're going to see more money this year. I was in meetings this week with Speaker of the House. I think you're going to see more money this year. I don't know how much. Yes. I think you're going to see it for this July 1st. Unfortunately, you're probably going to know after you set your budget. Now, this is what I recommend on that because I went through this in Pomfret. I went through this in Wyndham all the time. You don't know what you're going to get from the state. Wyndham is heavily reliant on grants, and we had to take a crapshoot every year. What I always tell people is, if you think you're going to get more, you're hearing more, you get your ear to the ground, and it sounds like you're going to get, I don't know, you're going to get $1 million more in ECS or special ed. I don't know what the numbers are here. If you got good reserves, just budget $500,000, and then if you get the $1 million, you're going to be ahead of the game. If you don't get the $500,000, you can cover it, and you're moving forward. You're not going to go bankrupt. Now, again, you guys, I don't know what your reserves are. I don't know, but the flip side of not putting anything in there, you're going to squeeze the hell out of your budget every which way, not pass it, whatever. And all along, you got all this other money coming in. So it's a hell of a dilemma. This is a dilemma that's been going on forever. You don't know what the numbers. So you gotta kind of look for what the tea leaves are saying. So I mean that would be my advice. Whatever you think you might be getting, go halfway. Now some towns like Scotland, they don't have any reserves. They're in a little different position. They probably only should budget exactly what they know, because what happens if they don't get those revenues, they're going to be in trouble. So I don't know what Thompson's situation is, but some towns. So many of the towns in Northeast Connecticut have 20+% reserve, so they can play ball. I mean, Killingly, Pomfret. Yeah. Anyway, so. We have just added, start in a few weeks, a stormwater planner, a grant that we're getting from the state of Connecticut. That is a person that is available to your town as well. They are going to start, that person has a master's degree from MIT. He is going to start by inventorying what stormwater structures we have that may not already be inventoried. And for most of our small towns, we don't know what a lot of these old structures look like. We don't know where they are. They're going to get mapped to GIS. So it's going to be an inventory, mapping, and then an evaluation will be the next step. What are the most high priority stormwater structures? So that grant is to help all of our towns gain an understanding and then move on from that. So you have that. Again, you don't have to pay extra for that. It's part of the plan. The housing bill that everybody's been so fearful and concerned about, they've got watered down substantially. But one thing didn't get watered down is we have an additional resource that's coming in. We haven't hired that person yet. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We have somebody in-house. We haven't hired the replacement of the person I moved. So you have that. You have a planner that will help you get through whatever this requirement is that the state has put upon us. That's another resource. Just call us up, talk, connect your people to our people. And we're in all these meetings every week to try to understand what that bill is going to require of towns. It's not a whole lot. Don't panic. I think we're going to have some informational meetings for anybody that wants to attend so you can understand that. Your Planning and Zoning Commission is probably most interested in that. Training, we had FOI training. I don't know if there was a bunch of people. I think Thompson had the biggest group.
We got the award for largest.
You guys took the trophy home. FOI, we had 60 people there from the region, and Thompson won the trophy. We have an election monitor that helps all the registrars and helps train those folks. That's a regional resource. You don't have to pay for that. There's lots of special studies. You've probably heard about the Safe Streets for All grant that we have, and we're trying to understand and prioritize, improvements to more dangerous areas of our region. And I also fixed your toilet. It was running, a couple turns of the screw on the float, and it's now not overflowing. Okay, so anything you need, we're there for you at Nico.
You're really selling it tonight, Jim.
So you may have heard me on the radio. I'll be frank, okay? The less you buy from me or we do, my job is easier. So I don't get a bonus if you sign on. It doesn't matter to me. I am a public servant. I love my job, and that's why I do it. And if I can help you and be successful or save money, I am here to do that. I'm not enriching myself. I'm just making more work for myself if you do more things. Anyway, that's the fast talking spiel, and I'll take any questions at all, or criticism or grilling or whatever you want.
Yeah, Jim, when did the contract come up for the paramedic intercept?
We are on a automatic renewal cycle right now. So whatever that's initial, it's a review every year. And basically it says in the contract that we are to discuss and negotiate the new rate. That's what it says. So we're past the initial term. I don't know if that was 3 years or something like that. So again, I meet with him a number of times. He talks about his rate. I can tell you that Steve Varga is the chief of KB Ambulance, and he one of the problems he has gotten into, and if you want to talk about animal control, I'll explain how we got into it. Is we're so afraid to raise the price of anything, and then all of a sudden the pressure builds, and then you got to raise it a lot, so you get this payment shock. I have been more experienced. I try to raise everything up a little bit every year, because when you need to come in with a big increase, everybody's eyes pop out, and you try to get to sell that to the taxpayers. Good luck. So a couple percent every year. KB Ambulance didn't do that. They kept their rates down, for so long. And anyway, so last year was a pretty good increase. I don't see the same size increase this year, but it is a 1 year at this point. 1 year renewal. We're not committed beyond that.
Any other questions?
The only question I got is animal control. NECOG had really expanded.
Yeah.
Way down south, Lebanon.
Yes. 20 towns right now.
That's where you are now.
That's where we are right now. We had 24.
Okay.
So we're at 20.
Facility had been upgraded several years ago.
No, I don't know when that was. I don't consider it upgraded. It's really in bad shape, actually. It's small, and it's woefully small for 20. We have Norwich facility and we have Killingly. So we have 2 pounds. I'd say a total of 40 runs, but we got 100 dogs from Woodstock in one case last summer that you may have heard about. And we get these cases, 30 animals at a time. We're pretty good at adopting them out when we can. When it's a case, you're stuck with them because you're going through the courts. If they just surrender them immediately, we can get them out. People are looking for animals all the time, any kind of animal. But when we're stuck in this quagmire with the courts and they refuse to surrender the animals, that's when the bills go up with the attorneys. That's when we're hurting. And it's a different world. It ain't the old dog catching years. Catching years where you find somebody nice down the road that loves dogs and will come get the dog. This is I have 14 staff. I have 6 certified animal control officers. They wear vests and body cameras now. They get attacked. We're in court. We're papering warrants. They're not fully sworn officers. They're not carrying a weapon, but they probably should, but they're not trained to do that, So we work with the police, and depending on which community we're in, state police or one of the other communities. So again, it's become a much more complex and expensive endeavor, especially the legal stuff, the FOI stuff. I've got $20-something thousand into one FOI request from one individual. We're going because they're complaining, and we got to get a lawyer. There's no way around it. One defamation case against my animal control director, did nothing wrong, got it dismissed. It cost me $15,000 to get that dismissed. So this is the world we're living in today. So animal control, I just raised up all of the NECOG towns 34% in 1 year. Now, we hadn't raised it up for a long time. John did a raise here and there, but it went like 10 years not raising the per capita. And so that built up, plus we'd had not enough animal control officers for that many towns. So a combination of those things. However, I sent letters out, which you may have heard me talk about on the radio. I sent letters out to the remaining towns outside of Nefog and said, we're no longer providing service. It's too risky financially or other risks, right? And I ended up in a meeting about a month ago with Senator Austin, the Commissioner of Agriculture, the Mayor of Norwich, because Norwich was one of the towns I cut off, and all these other towns. And they were basically saying, because I gave them notice like 6 months ago verbally, 4 months ago writing for July 1st to give them some time to get together with Norwich, get together with the new facility in Montville, whatever they had to do. And they were basically begging me, we cannot get this done by July 1st or at all. What do you want? Was the call. And I did not set people up with this. That was not the way I do things. Anyway, I said, well, I'm raising my towns up 34%. And on the call here, I was not prepared to give you a number, but I'm going to say you got to pay more because I'm using my overhead and my grant. I'm covering overhead with your dollars. We've been going backwards $200,000 the last few years in animal control. That's one of the reasons for the increase. So anyway, 50% immediately. Tom Sparkman from Lisbon says, yeah, it's fine, Jim. And they start going around the room on this call, and we're all in. Like in a minute, they didn't even flinch at 50%. And then I said, well, while we're asking, I need something else. I need a new animal control facility. So I'm working on that. We have a purchase sale agreement for a piece of land in Pomfret, and I'm asking some bonding money from the state to build a new 9,400 square foot, state of the art, probably 40 kennels just in that one location, separate areas for all the different kinds of animals, and also large animal area. One of the problems we have out this way is some of these cases involve horses, goats, pigs, whatever. And now you got to board them because I can't put them up in the kennel. I can't put them in a dog kennel. So that's $800 a horse a month. So now I'm going to try to get a facility because we have people there already that can feed the horses. A lot of my people are horse people. So we can feed the horses. We're going to save that money. Who saves that money are the towns, because in your animal control contract, not yours, but all the others, any excess expense beyond what we can provide for boarding goes to the towns. So they would pay for that horse boarding. We almost had a call in Lebanon. It was 30 horses, 24,000 a month. They would have bankrupted us. We cover Lebanon. So anyway, the state picked that up. They helped us out. So that's animal control in a nutshell. We're trying to pare it down, but now I think we're going the other way where they're providing me with a reason to continue to do it, and they're going to support the new animal control shelter bonding. I'm going to have 20 towns sending in letters. It's an election year. State's doing pretty good. I suspect I'm going to get some money.
What was your response time?
Right now, with 6 animal control officers, about as fast as you'd expect. I mean, as soon as the call comes in. I mean, some people call in and think we're going to run out there because there's a barking dog on a weekend. We don't do that. If it's a real call, we are dispatching weekends, nights, whatever, immediately. I have somebody on call at all times, and we have a call service. So we respond 24/7, but it's got to be a real call depending on, we'll go to anything, but we're not going to go out there for a barking dog on a Sunday night,
How was that cost calculated?
As far as,
For instance, Thompson.
so it's a per capita charge, and as of right now for the new year 27, it's going to be $5.50 per capita. If you were interested, it would be 52,000 and change for the town of Thompson. If you 52, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Jim, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Okay. Good to see everybody.
Thanks, Jim, for all you do.
And if you need anything, call me.
Especially.
Yeah, I took care of them. I'm sorry, I'm in my jeans. I was on the roof today taking the ice dams off the Nikon, so.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. Item 5, other budgets as needed. Don't think there's any need. Not very need. Anything, any other topics we need to talk about? Bill?
We have a short special selectmen's meeting after this, so
Okay.
feel free to.
Bill, just one real quick. The NEPA GIS, where is that
It's in the, Paul covered it in his, assessors.
Okay, okay, I just want.
That was a switch he made last year at a significant savings, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Right.
Am I gonna find that one?
The assessor is.
I know we had one last week.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the
1303.
I did online. Okay, I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Any other, new business that's needed?
Just a quick comment, we talked about animal control. You know, we've got upgrades to do to our current establishment. We have our challenges up there. Hopefully when you review your budget, you look at the whole picture.
Yeah, little bit to that, I know that the animal control, they had put a social media post out the other day that they are starting a nonprofit, or they have started a nonprofit. It's been filed. They haven't gotten a 501c approval yet, still in pending status. But that is a means to finance capital improvements to that shelter, and I think that's a viable option. It's used widely everywhere around us, Webster, Oxford, Community Cat Connection, a lot of stuff. So, we're staying pretty steady with our cost for employee costs, which is our highest cost. But all that other stuff that needs to be done, I think that will more than cover it. But the NECOG conversation is a conversation that we should at least, at a minimum, look into.
We can look into it. What I just heard was I don't really want to do it. And I'm
I'm never gonna vote for it.
Yeah.
Pay me a lot of money.
I don't disagree.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but
But it costs us a lot of money too, so.
It does.
That's
It's
part of the conversation.
yeah.
And we'll,
I'm open to all.
they'll dig into it, we'll dig into it.
I'd say visit every year just to see it, but.
So what do we have next? We have done or what? 'Cause
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. We've done.
Motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have next
Adjourned at
Thursday.
8:00. We have next Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday,
And that'll be it.
that's it.
Yeah.
Thursday,
Hopefully,
Go to the Wednesday.
that's okay, we'll see you Thursday.